Hey everyone, welcome back to the Easy English Listening Zone. If this is your first time here, welcome to the family. And if you've been with us for a while, it is so good to have you back.
That's right. This is the place where we usually focus on learning real English while growing through real life. But today feels different, doesn't it, Emma?
It really does. Today isn't just about English grammar or vocabulary lists. Today we're putting the textbooks aside because we need to talk about you. We want to talk about something that sits heavy on the chest sometimes. That strange, quiet feeling that life is moving forward, rushing past you, but somehow you are standing completely still.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. It's that stuck in the mud feeling. You look around and on the surface, everything seems fine. The sun is shining, people are smiling, the coffee shop is open. But inside you feel lost. You feel out of sync with the rhythm of the world. You might even be lying in bed at night questioning if you're even on the right path at all.
That is such a heavy place to be. And if you are listening to this right now holding that weight in your heart, I want you to know this episode was written for you. We aren't here to lecture you today. We aren't here to fix you because you aren't broken.
Exactly. We're just here to talk like friends. We want to share the things we wish someone had told us when we were in that dark place. And the beauty of it is, while we have this heart-to-heart, you're still going to be learning. You'll hear natural expressions, phrasal verbs, and powerful vocabulary woven right into our story. But don't stress about catching every single word.
Right. Don't worry if a few phrases fly over your head. Our wonderful language expert, Nicholas, will be joining us at the end to break everything down clearly. Plus, remember, there is a free PDF waiting for you with the transcript and reflection prompts. But for now, just be here. Take a deep breath. Maybe grab a warm drink. Let's just dive in. Ethan, I want to start with a question that might sound a bit crazy to someone feeling stuck right now. What if feeling lost isn't the end of your story? What if it's actually the turning point?
That really hits home, Emma. Because honestly, when you're in the middle of being lost, it's not always a dramatic movie scene with rain and tears. Sometimes on the outside, life looks perfectly routine. You get up, you brush your teeth, you go to work. But inside, it's like you're just watching the world through a glass window. It's moving and you're just observing.
Totally. I have been there. It's the autopilot mode. You talk to people, you smile at the right times, you do all the right things. But your heart is somewhere else entirely.
I remember a specific morning a few years back that defines this for me. I was sitting in my car in the parking lot, getting ready to walk into my office. From the outside, my life looked perfect. I had a stable job, regular hours, a friendly team to work with. I should have been happy.
But you weren't.
No. That morning, I just sat there gripping the steering wheel. I stared at the logo on the wheel, and I physically couldn't make my body move. I felt this wave of emptiness hit me. I thought, is this it? Is this how the next 10 years of my life will feel?
Wow, that is terrifying.
It was. It hit me like a giant wave. That was the precise moment I knew I was off course.
I feel that so deeply. For me, feeling lost wasn't about being stationary. It was like walking through a huge, endless maze. Every turn I took just brought more confusion. I kept asking myself, is this really my path? Or is this just a path I fell into by accident? And the worst part, it seemed like everyone around me, my friends, my colleagues, they all had maps. They knew exactly where they were going. And I had nothing.
The maps, yes. That comparison makes the feeling of being stuck so much worse. It's uncomfortable. It's itchy. But, and hear me out on this, sometimes that discomfort is actually a gift.
A gift?
Yeah, it's a wake-up call. That pain you feel, that's your sign that something needs to change. It is painful, yes, but it is powerful. Because the moment you stop and say, wait, what am I doing? That is the beginning of clarity. That is the start of something new.
I love that perspective. It reframes the pain. But we have to ask ourselves, how do we get so lost in the first place? You know what I think it is?
What?
It's not usually because we made bad choices. It's because we listened to too many voices that weren't our own.
Oh, absolutely. The noise of the world is so loud. Parents, teachers, friends, random people on social media. Everyone has an opinion on your life. Study this major, take this job, you should speak like this.
Right, and over time, if you're not careful, you stop hearing your own voice. You start living out a script written by someone else's expectations. It's like we all have this little internal compass, our gut, our instinct. But if that compass gets knocked off by just a few degrees, over time, you end up miles away from where you were meant to go.
That is such a perfect image. You end up following the safe path. The path that looks good on a resume, the path that makes your parents proud, but it doesn't feel good to your soul.
Oh, that was absolutely me. In college, I picked a major solely because it sounded impressive. It wasn't what I liked. It was what I thought I should do. And guess what happened?
What happened?
Years later, I had the fancy degree. I had the paper on the wall, but I had zero passion. Just a lot of confusion and regret.
And that is exactly why checking in with that inner compass matters so much. We have to be brave enough to ask the hard question. Am I doing this because I want to? Or am I doing this because I think I'm supposed to? There is a world of difference between want to and supposed to. Sometimes the loudest voice in the room needs to be your own.
But Ethan, here's the tricky part. Once you finally quiet the noise and you start to listen to your own voice again, you usually run into something else. Something most of us are terrified of. Uncertainty?
Exactly. We human beings, we love control. We want plans, spreadsheets, guarantees. So when we realize we're on the wrong path, but we don't know what the right path is yet, we panic.
It feels like free falling.
It does. But here's the truth we need to embrace. Uncertainty isn't always a bad thing. In fact, I think it might be the most necessary thing.
So, before the break, we were talking about uncertainty. We were saying that not knowing what comes next feels terrifying. But honestly, uncertainty can be a gift. It gives us something we rarely allow ourselves to have. Space. Space to think. Space to breathe. Space to rediscover what actually matters to you.
Exactly. I remember clearly when I finally left that job I told you about. I had absolutely no plan B. I just had this strong, uncomfortable feeling in my gut that I wasn't in the right place anymore.
That takes so much courage. Did people think you were losing it?
Oh, definitely. People thought I was crazy. And to be honest, lying in bed at night, I thought I was crazy too. But those next few months, wow, they were full of growth.
What did you do at that time?
I didn't do anything productive in the traditional sense. I read books. I rested. I took long walks. I learned new things just for the fun of it. And slowly, without forcing it, I found a new direction.
See, that's the secret. When things are uncertain, we are forced to become curious again. We try new things. We listen more. It is scary, yes, but that in-between space is where the magic happens. It's the space between the old version of you and the new one.
So if you're feeling unsure right now, please hear us. It is okay. You do not have to have all the answers today. Just stay open. Stay curious. Trust that something new is unfolding, even if you can't see it yet.
Okay, so let's say our listeners have taken a deep breath. They've accepted the uncertainty. What comes next?
The next step is looking inward. And I don't mean looking at your to-do list or looking at what your parents expect from you. I mean looking at what really matters to you.
This is where values come in. And listeners, don't worry, I don't mean big, complicated philosophical ideas. I mean simple truths. Ask yourself, what 3 things do I deeply care about in life?
Right. Maybe it's family. Maybe it's freedom. Maybe it's learning or kindness or health. The specific words don't matter as much as the feeling. Because if you are feeling lost, it's often because you have been walking away from these values without realizing it.
Oh, that hits hard. I felt that so intensely a few years ago. I remember a time when I was so busy trying to be productive, doing all the work, ticking all the boxes, that I completely stopped doing the things that made me feel alive.
Like what?
Like writing just for myself, or having long, slow conversations with close friends. When I finally stopped and looked back, I realized I had drifted completely away from what made me me.
Drifted. That's such a powerful word for it. It happens so slowly you don't notice. But when you reconnect with those values, things begin to shift. You might still feel unsure about the destination, but at least you know you are moving in a direction that feels true to your heart.
So once you know what matters, what do you do? Because big changes can feel overwhelming.
This is the most important part. You do something small. Really, really small. How small are we talking?
Tiny, microscopic. Big change doesn't happen all at once.
One thing that saved me was setting tiny goals. On my worst days, when I didn't feel like doing anything, I would tell myself, just write 1 sentence today, or just take a 10-minute walk. That's it.
That's it. I love that. It takes the pressure off.
Totally. I actually once set a goal to just get out of bed and drink a glass of water. I'm not even joking.
That sounds manageable.
It was. But you know what? That one small action gave me a sense of progress. And progress, no matter how small, builds confidence. It builds momentum.
Yes, we often think change has to be this huge explosion. But honestly, it's the small wins that move us forward, step by step, day by day.
It applies to everything, even learning English. Even something as simple as saying 1 sentence in English out loud each morning can shift your energy.
So if you are feeling stuck right now, don't wait for a huge breakthrough. Don't wait for the clouds to part and a voice to tell you what to do. Start with 1 small, easy win today.
And let it build from there. But Emma, even when we are doing our best, some days are still just really tough, aren't they?
They are. And that is why you cannot do this alone.
You said something right before the break, Ethan, that I think is vital, that we can't do this alone.
We really can't. When I was at my lowest, completely lost in that maze, one of the best things I did was talk to a friend. Just one honest conversation.
Was it hard to open up?
Incredibly hard. I felt awkward and unsure. I thought I had to present a perfect version of myself. But I told him how I was really feeling. And you know what? He didn't try to fix me. He didn't offer a 10-step plan. He just listened.
That is so powerful. We often think we need solutions, but sometimes we just need to be seen.
Exactly. Knowing someone is there, even silently, makes a huge difference. Whether it's a friend, a teacher, a mentor, or even an online community, having someone to check in with gives you strength.
It's about accountability, right? When you share your journey, you start showing up not just for yourself, but because someone out there believes in you. So if you are listening right now and feeling alone, send that message, make that call. You are not weak for needing support. You are strong for taking that step.
And once you take that step, celebrate it.
Yes, we are so bad at this. We wait to feel proud until we have reached the big goal at the end of the mountain. But what about the tiny victories?
We remember our mistakes so clearly, don't we? Every wrong turn. But we forget the brave choices.
Getting out of bed when you didn't want to, that's a milestone. Asking for advice, that's a milestone.
I actually started doing something last year that helped me visualize this. I call it my lost and found journal.
I love the sound of that. How does it work?
It's nothing fancy. On one side of the page, I write down the moments I felt stuck, confused, or unsure. But on the other side, I write down what I found during that time.
Wow, so it flips the narrative.
Exactly. When I looked back, I realized I wasn't just lost. I found patience, I found new friends. Sometimes I found the courage to simply begin again.
That is beautiful. It proves that the detours, the wrong turns, they aren't waste. They make us wiser. They make us more human.
So today, we hope you found something meaningful in this talk, whether it was a shift in perspective or just the feeling that you're not alone.
But we're not done just yet. As always, we want to make sure you leave here not just feeling better, but speaking better.
That's right. It's time for the English side of things. Nicholas is here to break down the key vocabulary we used today so you can use it in your daily life.
Let's join her now. Hey there, my lovely learners. It's Nicholas here, and I've got you covered. Emma and Ethan had such a deep conversation today, didn't they? Let's look at some of those powerful words they used so you can start using them too. First up, heart to heart. This is a noun. It means a deep, honest conversation between two people. You don't have a heart-to-heart with the cashier at the grocery store. You have it with a close friend or partner. Example, we had a heart-to-heart about how unhappy I was with my job. Next is drift. To drift means to move slowly without control or direction. Imagine a boat on a lake with no engine, just floating away. That is drifting. Example, he didn't notice how far he had drifted away from his real goals. Then we have momentum. This is the energy that keeps something moving forward. It's hard to push a car at first, right? But once it's rolling, it has momentum. Example, once she started studying every day, she built momentum and improved quickly. Here is a big one, autopilot. This comes from airplanes, but in life it means doing something without thinking, purely out of habit. Example, he was living on autopilot, just waking up, going to work, and sleeping again. And finally, crossroads. A crossroads is literally where two roads meet, but in life, it means a point where you must make an important decision that will change your future. Example, she felt like she was at a crossroads. Should she stay at her job or start something new? Use a few of these words this week. I promise you will sound more fluent and confident in no time. Back to you, Emma and Ethan. Thanks, Nicholas. That was super helpful as always.
Honestly, I think I learned something new every time she pops in. And hey, if you are listening and you made it all the way to the end of this episode, we just want to say we are proud of you.
We really are. Whether you're lost, finding your way, or just taking a rest, you showed up today, and that counts.
Until next time, keep learning, keep growing, and most importantly, keep being kind to yourself.
Bye for now.